Chelsea Football Club are about to have a massive internal meeting, and we're going to basically find out within the next 5 days whether we're going to get a new striker or if Armando Broja is leaving. We've got the names of the 2 strikers that are being offered to Chelsea. Chelsea are chasing one of them. We'll talk about him. He's not popular at this moment in time, but is it because he's not a big name? Then the latest numbers from Deloitte have come out and Chelsea are ranked 9th best revenue in club football. Even with a horrible year last year, we're 9th, but Spurs are better than us. They might even get a trophy. And then we need to talk about the big thing. We've got a game against Aston Villa in the FA Cup. Maurizio Pochettino comes out with his press conference. We'll break it down. He speaks about Ben Chilwell and Nkunku, Malo Gusto, Cole Palmer. He even makes a couple of jokes that made me laugh about players all of a sudden aren't as injured as they once were. It's a shot at the players, but for me, I think it was a joke. Do not overreact. We'll break everything down. We'll get into it and we'll talk about it in a nice, concise manner so you're updated with your Chelsea dose. And before we get started, I need you lot to do a massive favor for me. Number one, I need you to subscribe to this channel. We're 34 away from 32,400. I'm trying to get that by the end of the day today, so it will be a massive favor if you can do that. Secondly, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Hitting the like button is a great indication that you're enjoying what I do here. You guys do that, I do more of it. If you ain't hitting the like button, something's broken. Let me know in the comments below. But let's start with the video. It's been heavily reported by Fabrizio Romano that Chelsea are going to be going after a new striker, right? Chelsea internally don't know what to do. They're going to sit down, they're going to talk, and they need to decide who this striker is going to be because they believe they need support. Nicholas Jackson's not cutting it. They believe they got to hit the jackpot with him. I don't know how, but I think he's had a good season. Broja looks like he's set to be off, and Chelsea want to balance the books with him. But John Duran is somebody that they're looking at. This has intensified in Colombia. It has come across to the English media with Matt Law, and now everyone's talking about it. Whether this is scaremongering the fans or like, oh, we might get him and he's unproven. Chelsea fans are having none of it. I haven't met a single Chelsea fan that said, you know what, let's do it. Personally, I don't know enough about him to be so rigorously against the move. Because, I'll be honest, Petrovic, I knew nothing about him. He's amazing. Cole Palmer, I didn't want him. He's amazing. I didn't want Cole Palmer for that fee. And guess what? Cole Palmer is worth every penny and then some. People won't agree with me, but this could happen with Duran. But it is what it is. We're going to find out what's going to happen. They're also going to talk about who else? Broja. Broja's fee is going to be around £35 million. 35 to 50 million pounds. But the problem here is, guys, Broja is a player that has been really underwhelming this year. Comes back, gets an opportunity, does well, gets injured, comes back, looks hopeless. And he has been so poor in recent weeks that even his biggest defenders are falling away and have decided to stop defending him. And now the question is, do we sell him or not? Chelsea have also been offered Callum Wilson, but this is coming from Ben Jacobs. And Ben Jacobs is explaining that basically, Newcastle are trying to generate revenue. Callum Wilson, Trippier are all for sale at the right price. The price is £18 million and you can get Callum Wilson in a Chelsea kit playing. However, and this is the big however, Callum Wilson is, I think, 32 years old. And more importantly, Callum Wilson would fit in at Chelsea with his injury record, like literally like me at Stamford Bridge. I'm a Chelsea fan, I'll fit in at Stamford Bridge. He's injury prone, he'll fit in at Chelsea's column. Because the reality is, if you look at his injury record in the last 3 to 4 years, hamstring. Him and Reece James will be hospital buddies, bruv, at this moment in time, realistically speaking. I know he doesn't want to get injured most probably, but he's injury prone. And with our doctors, evidently, he's going to continue these injury problems here. So I don't want Chelsea nowhere near the signing. I think he's a quality player. I think he's good. He would be exactly what we're looking for. But if he didn't have these injury problems, he wouldn't cost 18 million and he wouldn't be available to transfer. So I don't think we should be doing it, personally. Let me know in the comments below. Callum Wilson, Duran, or sign nobody like I'm requesting. Before I get into the final section of the video and talk about the press conference, I need to cover what's happened with the Deloitte article. So the Deloitte article is very interesting because they've come out with basically the top 20 clubs for revenue. Look, it doesn't mean you're the richest because your owners can be more wealthy and they can just inject money whenever they want, as long as it's within FFP. And more importantly, it also doesn't mean that you're basically balancing the books the best, right? You can generate great revenue, but you're making a loss on player wages and player, staff wages and just the day-to-day running of your business. You're not the richest. But revenue-wise, Spurs were 8th and Chelsea were 9th. Spurs generated 631 million euros. Chelsea generated 589. What does this tell you? It tells you that Chelsea are desperate for European revenue. And more importantly, Chelsea need to do as many commercial deals as possible to maintain an element of impressiveness on the financial. Otherwise, we're going to have to sell players. And people are going to say, Alex, what are you talking about? Like, Spurs have generated more money than... Look, Spurs have a stadium that enables them to make the whole match day experience better. People come and don't just get a hot dog. They get a few drinks. They make the whole day a spectacle at the club. And they end up spending more money. Tourists are coming to see the stadium. Chelsea, with their pedigree, need a new stadium. And we need to do that. Otherwise, all these youth players that you lot are loving at the moment, and you don't want to sell and you want to give a chance to, they will be leaving one by one. Because we need to balance the books. We have a stadium to fund and they need to find a solution to do it. I hope they do it quickly. And more importantly, and this is the biggest part of all, I think Chelsea need to realize that outside of their ventures of football, they need to start doing more. And they have been. There's been a hotel picture that's gone viral where there was a girl, I think it was the Chelsea women's game. Chelsea scored, she's sitting in bed clapping, and it's basically advertisement for a hotel. It's gone viral, people know more about the hotel, and people are fuming. Matchday going fans are absolutely fuming. They're like, it's spitting in the face of individuals that want to go to the game for commercial reasons. Sadly, this is a business. You want Victor Osimhen? You want Enzo Fernandez? You want Moises Caicedo? Bro, you got to generate the revenue to pay. And people won't like it, but it's the harsh truth. So I've got no problem with this happening. There's a myth that this is all Bowley's fault. It's not Bowley's fault. Can't be Bowley's fault because we did the same thing under Roman. We just no longer have the means for Roman to just keep paying and just breaking us even. So I'm sorry, but people need to understand that this is the way football's moving on now. Chelsea versus Aston Villa is a massive game in the FA Cup, and we've got a press conference breakdown from Mauricio Pochettino. And Pochettino straight away spoke about the fact that we made the Carling Cup final, or the Carabao Cup final as it's known. You guys can tell by my age how old I am, for the fact that I still refer to it as Carling Cup. But this is a massive game, and Pochettino said that it's a tough opponent and we need to make sure that we are ready for the game. And he said he just felt the intensity of training has upped. He said he feels like everyone is fully committed and just challenging for a spot. And this makes sense, right? Because there's a final coming up, everyone's got a buzz, everyone's like, wow, we won 7 of our last 9, we need to go on another little run like this, and all of a sudden the narrative around us is going to change massively. It's not going to be, oh, $1 billion spent, what the hell are they doing, sack Poch? It's going to be, oh, $1 billion spent, are they going to invest more to next year compete for the league? Or are they going to make Champions League football this year? That's going to be the narrative. And now we've got a final to look forward to. These players are going to be making sure they're healthy, making sure they're fit, and making sure that they're training hard to get into the game. And Pochettino loves the sound of it. In regards to injuries, there's a whole host of information. So buckle up, grab your popcorn and start listening. Number 1, Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell has come back and played a good amount of minutes, 60 minutes, but then he asked to come off. And the reason he asked to come off was because apparently he was getting very tired, which is expected. Pochettino says he doesn't know whether he's going to be ready for tomorrow, or he doesn't even know if he want to risk him tomorrow. And for me, I'll be honest, I'm not letting Ben Chilwell nowhere near that. For me, Ben Chilwell needs to be in the stand tomorrow. I don't even want him in the squad unless we have to just give him 20 minutes at the end for a run out to get some more fitness. We need Ben Chilwell, and he's pivotal to this team purely based on the fact that I think when we have a natural left back, we're a much better team than not. And Pochettino's right. He's got a great attitude. It's not psychological for him that he gets injured. It's physical. So we need to make sure we find the right antidote and the right fiction for him for just to fix the player. Because he is super positive and he's a nice guy. That's what Mauricio Pochettino is saying. Good on him. Then we've got an update on Malo Gusto and Christopher Nkunku. Both players are in full training. They won't be available tomorrow. Do not risk them for tomorrow. But they should be ready for Liverpool. That's what Pochettino says. And you know what? Pochettino actually is not as brave as the website is. The website's like, yeah, full training. just reconditioning. It's their favorite term, reconditioning. Pochettino is more like, no, we're going to have to reintegrate them slowly. And I want that to happen. I don't want re-aggravation of it. I want these players to come back and stay back. Look at the way we're handling Carney. Carney got some minutes the other day, then he got 15, 20 again. Tomorrow, hopefully he gets another 30 minutes and slowly reintegrate him and start developing the player. For me, I like the sound of that. That's what Chelsea need to be doing. Slow and steady wins the race. No point of rushing, no point of getting excited and just throwing a player in only for him to get re-injured. We also spoke about the fact that there'll be no more new signings potentially. They asked him a question, are you desperate for a new number 9? Are you desperate for a new signing? He said, I'm desperate to win trophies. And I love that answer because it's what the proper Chelsea want to hear. It's what every Chelsea fan wants to hear. And it's what the owners most probably want to hear. And the fact that he's talking like this, I love. Honestly, I think it is super important that he needs to talk like this. It just gives the belief for fans that this is a Chelsea manager. This isn't just, oh, top 4 do. Nah, we need to win trophies. Then, furthermore, this is the big one here. Mauricio Pochettino said he's not desperate for a new signing. And I agree with him. I actually think we don't need a new signing. Maybe we need to calm down for one window. Maybe we can sell Trevor Chalobah. Maybe we can move on Armando Broja and just relax. You know, we don't need to replace. Maybe we should have a window off of buying players. Maybe that's a sweet thing to do. That's just my personal opinion. I want to know yours. I don't think we need to have additions now when we can make proper additions in the summer. The final one was about Cole Palmer, and he was very complimentary of Cole Palmer. He said Cole Palmer is not only good on an individual basis, but an all-round player. Just the way he is for the team, and he kept on reinforcing the team element of it. And for me, I love that because Cole Palmer's pressing is selfless. Cole Palmer presses as if he's a workhorse number 10, but in reality, he is the classiest number 10 we have had in years. Like the way he moves on the ball, the stuff he tries to do, how audacious he is. He sees things in slow motion and then tries to implement them. He's brave, he's courageous. He's empowered by Mauricio Pochettino. You can tell that he is because Mauricio Pochettino allows him to try all that stuff. There are certain managers that we like, what are you doing, bruv? You've lost the ball, now it's a turnover. It's the empowerment and faith that you won't get dropped. It's the faith to try stuff, and it's exactly what young players need. He is really starting to perform, and it's beautiful to see. I really hope this continues, and I hope he elevates himself to becoming a regular. Next year, I want him to replicate what he's doing. I don't want him to get better. I just want him to replicate, because what he's doing right now, if he does this for consistently for 3 or 4 seasons, people are going to call him a great player. Like, he will be known as one of the great players in the Premier League because what he's doing is getting numbers, stylish, and he's productive. Like, in general, he's impactful on games. Sometimes players just get numbers for the sake of it, but this guy's actually impacting games. He's doing it with style, and he's getting the numbers. This is amazing for Chelsea. Tomorrow, there will be a match review regarding the game. At the end of this video, now, you're going to see a link sending you to me explaining the whole transfer saga with Karim Benzema and why I don't think it's going to happen. Do not fall for the trap unless something massively changes. So please go watch that. Get the hours up on that video. Get the hours up on this video. Share it with a friend and family. Like I said, I need 36 more subscribers. If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Peace out. I'm out. Adios, amigo.